Hi, and welcome to AWS Jewelry. In this video, I want to continue talking about fundamentals and projects to build that are important for our AWS certification exams. In the last video, we talked about understanding fundamentals and prerequisites to help you choose a project to build during your AWS certification journeys. I mentioned being able to define what is cloud computing and what AWS is. And I've added link cards to the past videos where I covered these in more detail. But let's skip ahead and say that you can define what cloud computing is and you can explain what AWS is. So now we have to ask ourselves if we also understand the problems or the opportunities that AWS helps people and organizations with. So let's go back to the past and let's say it's 1992. I grew up in a scuba diving shop in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I use my past experience at the scuba shop to help me choose projects. So I come up with different ideas of how I could use AWS to help our shop succeed. So let's say that a younger Julie is building a highly available website for our scuba store to sell our scuba diving gear rentals, classes, dive charters, trips, and more. And let's pause and loop back to how we choose projects to build while we're preparing for the AWS certifications. And one thing you can do, like I just mentioned, is use your history. So, a highly available website would be a great project to build while you're completing your training and preparing for the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate exam. So, back in the old days, or if you're building on premise, what are things you would need to build a website? Well, I would need compute and servers to run the website and process the orders. I would also need a database to store the different information, data for our gear, data for trips, charters, classes, and more. I would need storage to store images, video, marketing documents, trip and charter information, different dive classes, such as open water, advanced rescue dive master, or an instructor that we taught. But what else? Well, I would need to set up a network so our customers can connect to our highly available website. And I would need to ensure the website, the orders, our customer data, their payment information, and so on were encrypted and secure. What are other things I would need? And how would I build all of these needed things to use and build and for our website? Well, I would need to purchase computers, servers, software with the latest patches, storage, databases, licenses, network cable, hardware, and more. I would also need a server room or space large enough for all this equipment and the hardware to sit in. I would need to configure the whole setup, possibly hire network engineers, DBAs, or other engineers to help me run the cables and configure it all to communicate with each other and with our customers. And this can quickly get very expensive, especially if you have to hire those engineers. But also, how do you determine the correct number of servers, storage, server size, and so on? How do you ensure that the equipment you buy and configure can handle the traffic to the website? Well, this is where AWS can help. And I added a card here to a previous video that talks more in detail about cloud computing, what AWS is, and how AWS offers these opportunities to help us build better. So, AWS offers a global infrastructure, which is a collection of smaller groupings of infrastructure that is connected by a global high speed network. And this global infrastructure helps us to design systems that are resilient and highly available. AWS offers globally resilient services, regional resilient services, and zone resilient services. And as you learn more about fundamentals and as you build your projects, you will get a solid understanding of what it means to have a highly available, resilient, and fault tolerant system for anything you build, any project you're using, or in the real world. But let's pause again. If we take a highly available website and we make it globally available, and highly available to anyone, anywhere around the world. This would be a great project to help you prepare for the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Professional Exam. And another tip is to ensure that you document all your project builds throughout your preparations so you can use the builds in your resume and examples in job interviews. You can also choose projects that build on top of each other, similar to how AWS exams build on top of each other. And you can build CloudFormation template to use the store to quickly rebuild your projects, but also to quickly rebuild that project so that you can build on top of that project for a more advanced exam or a different project idea that you come up with to help you prepare for your AWS certification. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see y'all again soon.